Everyone, I welcome you all to the study squad, and today we'll have a quick run through of the topic G20. We all know why this topic is important because presently India is presiding over the G20 summits, therefore, this topic holds importance. And I'm assuming that you might get some MCQs from this topic, so make sure you go through this. Secondly, for all the people who are preparing for their SSBs, make sure you make proper notes of this topic because this will help you in your GD as well as your lecture rate. Okay, moving forward, one thing about G20 that you should know, the presidency is rotating annually. Okay, so every next year some other country is going to preside over it. Okay, India is the 18th country to be presiding over G20. You should remember this. And when did India assume the presidency of G20? You should remember the date also. It's December 1st, 2022. Okay. Next thing, a very basic thing. The G here is a group, which is a group of 20 countries here. Okay. And when will India's presidency end? It's gonna end on November 30th, 2023. You should remember the dates here. They are kind of important. Okay. Then which was the country that presided before India was Indonesia. Know this. Then the next one which is gonna preside is gonna be Brazil. Okay, so remember this also. Then the theme for this year is Vasundhaiva Kutumbakam. This is very important. And where is it taken from? It's taken from the Maha-Upanishad. Okay, so you should know this. You should remember it in English also, which means one earth, one family, and one future. Okay. Here, the logo here is very important that we have. Okay. So here you should know the colors that are used in the logo. Okay. There's saffron, white, green, and there's blue. Okay. They might ask you a very simple question. Okay. Tell us the colors that are there in the logo, or is there a lotus or not? You should know this also. So you can see the significance here that the logo has. The earth reflects India's pro-planet approach to life, one in perfect harmony with nature. Below the logo, we have Bharat written. It's written in Devanagari script, as you can see. Okay, the theme is also written here. Okay, in the English, Bharat is written here. Okay. When did India join G20? It joined in 2006. So remember this year also. Moving forward, some basics about G20. Okay, so G20 is basically a platform where the financial ministers. We have the financial ministers as well as the governors. The governors of the central banks. Okay, of central bank. They meet up and they discuss about the international economics and the financial issues. Okay, so they meet up and they discuss about them. This is why we have G20. Firstly, the platform here. Secondly, you should know that for G20 here, it has two main track engagements. Okay, firstly we have the finance track. We have the finance track here, and we have the Sherpa track. Okay, so the finance track here involves the financial ministers, okay, and the governors here of all the central banks, and the Sherpa is the one that is going to be overseeing all these matters. Just remember this. I don't think so they're going to ask a question about it. Just general knowledge. Okay. Moving forward, important stuff. When was G20 established? It was established in December 1999. The year here is important. Okay, then the the G20 countries together represent. This is also important. The percentage here are important. Okay, how much percentage of G20 countries hold in the GDP right now? Like 85% of global GDP. Then there is 75 to 80% they represent in global trade. 60%, or you can say 2/3 of the world's population, G20 represent. This is why G20 holds importance also, because of these. If they'll ask you facts. Why is G20 important? Because it holds 85% of the global GDP. It has 75% to 85% of the global trade. It represents 2/3 of the world's population. Therefore, G20 platform is, important. It's significant. Then the objectives of G20 are to coordinate policy between its members, sustainable growth, then they have risk reduction, and creating a financial architecture. Also, one more thing that's important about G20, okay, I almost forgot to tell you. Okay, so who might you call, the architect of the G20 or the founder of G20? So he was PM of Canada. Okay, wait. He was the PM of Canada. Previously, he was the Finance Minister of Canada. Okay, his name is Paul Martin. Paul Martin, okay, who's the founder of G20. Important. Keep this in mind also. Okay. Moving forward. Okay, so the first meeting of G20, like the first ever meeting of G20, was held in 2008 in Washington DC, USA. Okay, India, why is it also more significant that India is holding the G20 summit right now? India presided over the 100 G20 meeting. Okay, and what was that meeting about? You should also know that. Meeting of Agriculture Chief Scientist MACs in Varanasi. And where was it held also? Varanasi, okay. You should remember this also. Moving forward, this G20 presidency, it's collaborating with the 25th, that Amrit Kal, okay, Amrit Kal of India. So this is also, important. It's, coinciding with that. The first finance minister of the central bank governor meeting, FMCBG, was held in Bangalore on 24th and 25th February 2023. So this was the first meeting. Just remember this. Moving forward, all the members of G20, very, very, very important, I must say. They'll just ask you, they'll, mention few, like, in the MCQ, they might give you like 4 options, okay? 4 options, identify which one is not a member of G20, okay? So therefore, you should be remembering each and every one of them, okay? There are 19 countries. Along with that, we have European Union, okay? The one that I've highlighted in orange are also G7 members, important. Okay, so the members are Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, UK, USA, and the European Union. Okay, moving forward. These are the members of the G7. Since we are on the topic of G20, I thought we'll discuss a little bit about G7 also, okay? The last person or the last nation to join G7 was Germany, okay? No, my mistake. No, it was not Germany. It was the last one to join the G7 was Canada, okay? Canada was the one that joined the last, okay? There were G6, which involved all of these, okay? Then the last meet or, the last summit of G7, last summit or the 2022 one was held in Germany, okay? Here also there are no, there's no headquarters, there's no permanent president. The presidency keeps on rotating here also, okay? And just like here we read about all this, okay, G20, how much share they have. Same way we'll also get to know about, we'll have a quick glance at the G7 in the same way, okay? So for G7, they hold 10% of the world's population, important, and they hold 3%. They hold 3% in the GDP. Okay, 3% in the global GDP and 10% in the world population. Important. Here, these are the things that you should keep in mind. Remember the members. I'm telling you again. Go through the members. They are basic. Remember them, and remember these about India. Everything. Okay. That's it for today. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel if you like the content. Thank you and all the best for exam.